Welcome to DasGeek. So hopefully the title of this video got your attention and you are looking to kind of understand what is all occurring here within this Facebook disaster. My biggest hope at the end of this video is not only to receive, you know, comments from individuals who support getting rid of Facebook and taking your privacy back, but also from individuals who maybe didn't understand this whole picture and how dangerous this game that Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook are playing here. Now, you've heard in the news Facebook has been, testifying before Congress. If you've watched any of that, then hopefully you're sick to your stomach as I am regarding not only the lack of technological understanding that our congressmen and women have, because the questions are ridiculous, but also the fact that Mark's biggest scapegoat here is third-party developers, in which he claims they are the ones who basically did things wrong with the data and they didn't have enough controls in place, and they're going to go back and really fix it. It kind of reminds you of the South Park episode with BP Oil, like, we're sorry. Of course, the EFF, which is an amazing foundation, has been really raising the red flag with things like Facebook for a long time. My channel started off dealing with a lot of security and privacy, which naturally led me to Linux. What's shocking to me to find out is that with all of the focus on leaving Windows and things for privacy reasons, so many people still in the Linux community, where you have a lot more security and privacy, use Facebook. And they use the same excuses that so many people use, like, well, I don't really post anything on Facebook, so I'm safe. It's okay. Or that they have a Facebook profile, but never log into it. They use Facebook Messenger only. I've heard all of these different variations of, oh, I'm super smart. I only post like nothing, so Facebook doesn't know, and therefore I win over Mark Zuckerberg. Mark isn't an idiot by any stretch of the imagination. He knows exactly what he's doing. He knows exactly how to get your data. And he has billions of dollars at hand to make sure that he gets the most data he can out of you. This article here by the EFF I really wanted to get into because it touches on so many great points, and it will be linked down below. It's worth a full read, but this will kind of open your eyes to all of the issues here and what this means, because this isn't just a matter of them understanding you like nachos on Sunday. I guarantee you that if you have a Facebook account, Facebook knows more about you than your spouse. They know more intimate details about you than anyone else in your family. And the reason is because they are tracking everything you do via deep links, via shadow accounts, via all of your friends, family, relatives, the school you went to, who your friends were while you were in school, who their associates are. And it just goes on and on. And so you may be like, well, oh, here's the other excuse I love. I don't do anything illegal, so I don't care. Oh, my gosh, this one just nauseates me. It nauseates me to no end. You don't have to be doing anything illegal for this data to matter. There are a couple scenarios I like to bring up, but there really are thousands here. One scenario is you lose your job. You're out on the job market. A lot of jobs now are utilizing social media as a part of your background check. But you go, I'm squeaky clean. I'm the most American out there, and I only post my nachos on Sunday. But you may have relatives or friends or other people who are on your profile that post things. Maybe you've got that one stupid family member that's like, part of some some hillbilly club or whatever out there, and you're embarrassed by them, but they're still family, so you have them on there. And when the employer goes and searches through the profile, they see that you're friends with that individual and look at that profile and like, wow, you associate with that kind of person. Obviously, as this continues on, these profiles and background searches using social media become more advanced. For all I know, there are services out there that allow you to acquire or dig through this detail to get even more information on what people are doing online and some of the other data that Facebook exposes. Although Facebook says they sell none of this data to any third parties, we see now that all these third parties were able to get this kind of data, but they were supposed to delete it. So this is the type of thing you deal with. Number two, here's another example that seems to get people's attention. Insurance companies, right? So right now, insurance companies are in this limbo between the universal health care and the free market. Eventually, things could change and the free market becomes the main staple again. It may not be now. It could be 10 years from now, but things tend to go in circles. At that point, companies again could start denying you for health conditions. This data that they could acquire from social media could include things like your search results for different diseases you may have looked up, medications you looked up. It could include family members who your father had a heart attack. They know this because it's on your Facebook profile, that you mentioning it, getting sympathy from all your fake friends. And now they know that heart attacks run in your family, or diabetes or other things. So companies being able to get this data, companies are always going to do what companies do. Companies are out there to make money. On the surface, there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to always keep that in mind, that their sole goal in life is just to make money. And if they can save money by not getting somebody with heart disease on their insurance that they're not going to have to pay for, well, that's a good deal. These are just two examples. There are literally thousands you could come up with of ways this could affect you. You may be young and be thinking, I'll never be in the public eye, but one day you may be an executive, you may be a CEO, you may try to run your own company, and the things you post on social media will haunt you. They will come back to haunt you because this stuff never goes away. Even if you delete your Facebook today, all of that data they have on you will never go away. So what you've done, the damage to this point is what you've done, but you've got to stop with this crap and get rid of these services and move on with your life, because there's this old saying, when I had Facebook back in the day, this rang true for me as well. Facebook makes you hate the people you know, and Twitter makes you like the people you've never met. And it couldn't be more true, because most of the time, these people on your Facebook that you think you have to be so attached to, number one, there's tons of studies showing the psychological impacts, because most people only post the good things about their life. So you're like, oh my gosh, Jenny gets to go on vacation and I'm stuck here in this loserville and all of this stuff. And it makes you sad, because it looks like other people are buying stuff all the time. They have endless money because the people only post the good things. So number one, psychologically, these networks show to do harm to people, more harm than good. Number two, most of the connections and all these people, you could just simply call them, text them, whatever. If they're true friends, having them sit there in your profile so you feel good seeing the counter say 1,000 fake friends, because nobody can entertain a circle of 1,000 friends. I don't care how cool you think you are. You don't have 1,000 real friends. You have 1,000 people who want to invade your privacy and know what's going on in your life in case something big comes up and they got some gossip to go call Jessica about down the street. Get rid of this Facebook crap. Start thinking about your privacy and your rights. Let's take a look at some of these, some of this article here. So getting to the bottom of Facebook word games. So the Congress members obviously coming at many different angles with the questions. So far, Cambridge Analytica has exposed approximately 1 in 5 Americans to paid propaganda effect. So this is such an important piece here to emphasize. So even if you're still on the like, I don't believe the medical stuff he said or the job stuff because I don't need a job and I've never had a medical issue. Well, the psychological warfare that has occurred here is incredible, and the propaganda warfare that foreign governments have basically taken over to attack the citizens of the United States during an election, because that's what it is. If you were to drop pamphlets, if Russia came over the United States and dropped pamphlets everywhere, everyone would be like, hey, that's a declaration of war. They don't have to drop pamphlets physically anymore. They can just manipulate you through crappy services like Facebook that have absolutely zero accountability at all to who can buy ads and start manipulating. Now, if you think you're unmanipulatable, you're so smart. I got a doctorate's degree, 2 master's degree, and a bachelor's degree. I can't be manipulated. You're wrong. You're so wrong. I mean, advertising by itself is a $200 billion industry. $200 billion. Who knows how much the government invests militarily in being able to manipulate other governments and services, and the amount of money they spend on digital warfare and other things, which is being picked up by many countries, China, Russia. All these countries are investing into this digital warfare side. But the psychological warfare of manipulating an election through social media, well, that one we kind of didn't see coming. Well, you could have seen it coming, but we didn't see it coming. And you can easily be manipulated by these things. This is one of the main reasons why I wanted to get rid of Facebook, although when back, gosh, it's probably been like 6-7 years now. Back when I had a Facebook account, the thing I kept realizing is how stupid people were, how gullible they were. You could put a picture of Bill Clinton saying, I don't know, I just ran over 10 kittens. And everyone on there that message fits their agenda. They don't like Bill Clinton. Well, they're all going to upvote it like, I knew he would be someone who would say that and be proud of it. Look at him laughing as he runs over 10 kittens. Like they're literally, it's like dealing with a bunch of single-celled organisms is how stupid people are on Facebook. And that was one of the first things that made me hate a lot of the people who are on my Facebook, is how gullible and stupid everybody seemed to be. Right? They're just they don't look up anything. They fall for everything that's posted that fits along the agenda that they agree with. And this isn't a political thing. If you're a Republican and they do something that's, anti-Democrat, all the Republicans are like, makes sense to me, it's got to be true. And Democrats, it's the same way. Makes sense to me, it's got to be true. And it's just, if it fits your personal agenda, you're going to go with it. So they go and they find these profiles of people who proudly declare their gang affiliation, whether Republican or Democrat, and they easily manipulate them through targeting these ads and making up stories and things. And of course, since it fits their agenda already and nobody does any research, they're like, sounds good, I agree. And they manipulated an entire election. Bad actors, this is the whole thing where basically people have hacked into Facebook's system and been able to collect data utilizing screen scraping and those type of technologies. So even if Facebook isn't outright selling it to them, people are able to still collect unimaginable amounts of data on individuals. Facebook says they're going to make some API changes so you can really trust them this time. There's another thing that's really important here about shadow accounts. So any site that has a Facebook-like button integrated into it, people think once they leave Facebook that it's over. But the reality is, if you have Facebook on your phone, Messenger, if you leave Facebook, it is still tracking the places that you go. And if you have Facebook and you're not even on the site, you don't even have it up, and you're going to sites that have Facebook-like buttons and things, it knows you're on that site. It's tracking all the things that you're doing here. The Facebook Messenger is tracking those messages. It's utilizing the keywords that you're using in there. It's building a profile on you psychologically. It is deciding what food you like, what advertisement's going to be most effective, and at what time you're at work, when you're home, where your work is, who you work with, who do you like at work, who do you don't like at work, who are your friends, who are you going out with, where are the clubs, where are you at, 4 or 5 days out of the week so they can send advertising to you. Like I said, I guarantee you they know more about you than your friends do. So they also have that's one of the things they call the shadow attacks there that are occurring. Facebook, of course, says it doesn't sell its data directly, but we see that no matter how they're kind of spinning this story, that's really not ringing true. But our gullible congressmen who know nothing about technology will fall for it. It's this whole conversation and putting Zuckerberg on Congress is about the most worthless waste of time, period. For Zuckerberg, frankly, and everybody else involved, because nothing will happen from it. The people asking the questions are too ignorant to even understand why any of this matters. They probably don't use Facebook themselves, probably because they couldn't figure out how to log on, but they don't even use Facebook themselves. So props to them for that, I guess. So this talks about the fact that companies like EFF and civil liberty groups have been basically saying this has been an issue since 2009, and Zuckerberg was out there saying, oh, we found out about this and we're going to take steps to address it. You've known about this. They're playing the ignorant card. Everybody's falling for it. He's got that young face. It looks innocent, like, I didn't know, with the big cat eyes. I'm sorry, guys. I really didn't know all that data was being stolen. I was just so busy counting my billions, I couldn't even figure it out. Black box algorithms that they're running. Of course, there's fingerprinting technology that goes on as well. So even if you don't have that like button on that Facebook page, fingerprinting technology is able to determine who you are. Anyways, there are ways to protect yourself. Number one, don't be stupid and use Facebook. That would be first. Delete that crap as soon as possible. Number two, you should be utilizing a VPN. Number three, you should be on an operating system that protects your privacy and utilize open source tools that allow people to be able to validate and know the code and things that go on, because we don't even know the half of what Facebook has on people. All of this stuff we've gone over, even the EFF, because everything's closed source, we have no idea of the things that they're doing. There are some weird circumstances that have happened, and they discuss it in some of these articles as well, regarding conversations people have and suddenly getting ads for it. But you don't have any app up. You have your phone in your pocket. But you'll mention something random like, I like red popsicles. And the next time you log in to search the web or you're on Facebook, there's an ad for, the red popsicles. And it's like, how? How is this all happening? Of course, we're finding out lots of things going on in the app world as well, especially if you're not on the iPhone ecosystem, which is locked down a lot more, but these apps that are invading your privacy on top of it. So it's just basically a complete warfare on your information, and everyone is spending billions to get every piece of information they can from you. Of course, the you they don't care about. We're talking about the collective you. They want to know, you may be 543621-ABC advertising ID today, but they have all that linked to your name and all the information, everything you ever search for, everything you do, your entire private life, maybe even some of your conversation information as well. They know that your wife may have gotten pregnant because she went to the store and used her shopping discount card to buy a birth control test. And so you start getting advertisements for that as well. The point of this whole rant, I guess this is what this is a rant, is that you've got to start taking this stuff seriously. Today, everyone should be deleting their Facebook account. There is absolutely zero excuse for what happened here. This is not a case of other organizations abusing their power. This is a case of Facebook could care less about your data until they get caught, and then they'll go back and find some other way to manipulate it. You've been had. You've been lied to, and all of this for what? So you can message a few friends that you hadn't seen in 20 years? Is it really worth it? And if they're real friends, will they message you outside of this platform? The answer is, if they're real friends, they would. And you can use other ways of communicating with family members. There are other social media networks out there that are based on social or on open source, like Mastodon. Twitter, I'm on the fence with. I have a Twitter account. Very little information is posted on Twitter. Twitter doesn't seem to have as many violations in the privacy realm as Facebook, but certainly, and that's mostly used to support my channel and people following the channel there. But certainly there are alternatives there that are much more engaged and caring about their individual users than Zuckerberg here has been proven to. He's a brilliant businessman, and I think he'll continue to be successful. And sadly, I think most people still won't care and will keep using these crappy services, as sad as it sounds. So that's it. That's my video. That's all I can do on this without vomiting, because that's how annoyed I am. Annoyed with the general public and their lack of care for their privacy, and the Congress. Just, if you watch those disastrous things and how just ignorant they are in technology, and how people like this continue to get away with completely invading our digital freedom. So I hope some people learn something from this. I hope this inspires you to delete your Facebook. If you do, leave it below. If you're going to keep your Facebook, leave it below. Tell me why. Why you can't live without this service. Until next time, please get out there and fill your brains.
Don't get too smart. Does not watch the video.